Just realized that at the end of the last video, you couldn't see whether I hit 2400 or not. But I did end the last one at 2398. Maybe I should figure out a better place to put my face in these videos. It seems good and out of the way, you know, in the bottom corner. But not everything can be seen. I guess I'll try to play centrally against this. Maybe a quick a4. Induce b4, and then maybe my knight has a good square later. Let's go there now. Let's just hurry there. I just think c4 is a nice square for my knight. Maybe play a5. Okay, keep everything defended. So I want my knight on e2 or f3. I have the instinct of e2. Let my f-pawn, roam free. I've been thinking a5, but then bishop d7, b5 might annoy my knight a little. So I'm going to, I think, just go for it. Maybe knight g3 and f5. Alright, that's a reasonable undermining. Want to target d6, don't see how. Okay, bishop e3, knight g4 is very annoying, so I guess I'll play knight g3. But, per usual, I have somehow gone from a very pleasant position to immediately losing the thread. Right, I'm going to hit the bishop away. I do surrender the e5 square. Yeah. d6 still potentially a weakness, so I'd like to play bishop g7, queen d2, rook a1. That seems desirable. Bishop f4 also possible. That might be a better diagonal, now that g5 doesn't actually pin anything. But g5 does mean they can't just move the rook away willy-nilly, because then fg6 wins the knight. Queen d2? Where do I take an a6? Why not? Patzer sees a pawn, Patzer takes a pawn. Right, bishop b5. So if they play c4, I think I'd just move the king. I don't see why I should be too concerned. I might play king h1 on my own, just in case like knight g4s are annoying. Because once knight g4 is played, c4 is an annoying threat. I guess f4. I guess e3. Knight g4, probably tuck away on g1. Yep. If they move their e-knight, I don't want to hang d2. I don't want to give up that pawn for nothing. So is knight h5 any good? I feel like it must be. Now they're not on e4, and I have kind of the freedom to, the queen's moved off d1, so now the rook can occupy it. I don't know what f6 was. That seems unnecessarily weakening. Okay, I see a good move here. I'm going to try it. It's risky. It's risky. I don't know about this. Okay, we got lucky. 1 for 1. I don't like how I handled the early middle game. I think something I really need to work on, because I'm trying to play lots of different openings in these videos and get a feel for different positions, but I clearly don't have a sense for kind of the standard plans and continuations in a lot of these positions. Alright, we're going to get this line again that I got last video, where I try to give up the d5 pawn, and they try to take it and hold on. And they're thinking again here. They're going to try to keep the pawn. I'm going to play a6 this time. Look to play b5. Except, I don't have b5, do I? Alright, so I'm going to play bishop g4 again. It hangs b7. What am I doing? Oh no. Okay. What am I doing? Do I have to take that? Ugh. Alright. Can't give up on myself. Just disastrous. Really shaky position. So knight b6, they have to go queen a2, but then they're on a6. I don't see what else to do. Oh, sorry, it hits their rook, not their queen. I'm losing it. It's all gone. Rook b8's so awkward. Maybe camp out on d6. I don't care about your doubled pawns. I do care. But pretend, I don't care about your doubled pawns. I can regain them anytime. I'm in no rush. This is my claim. It is a lie. And I kind of hate my position. Ugh. Where does my play ever come from? I don't know. Knight h5 do anything? No. Don't have knight e4, knight d7. They're coming with knight c6. Ugh. Gross. I'm going to go to c8. Preemptively get out of the way of knight c6 in the hopes that when they play it, I can find a move that isn't just a nightmare. Nope. King f8, knight e7, rook e7, bishop d6. I can resign. May be able to resign anyway. I guess bishop f8? Okay, this Megatronus is just crushing me in our encounters. I'd really hoped that just by playing g6, bishop g7, and castling, black's just fine against these Panov things, but clearly I need to know a little more to make this work. I'd watched a high-rated player like, 2700 Bullet or something, playing kind of like this, and it just all seemed very comfortable and clear, and I was hoping that it would be so without much effort. And it's not working out for me. They can take on e7. I'm sure they can do this too. It's no good. Okay. I guess I'll come to e4, because I have a threat. Miracle of miracles. Never had a threat before. They may have seen my threat and responded with better ones. I don't like knight f6, I don't like knight g5, I don't like anything. I guess knight f6 so I can take back queen, but then knight e6... maybe I survive. On knight d6, bishop d6, e d6, queen e8, rook e8, rook e8. Knight e7's coming, my king is... Ugh. Alright, this has been my despair video. I am threatening to take on d5. I have a threat. What can I say? If we do this, I'll pin your knight to your rook. Clearly I'm doing great here. Equalized with brilliant theory at the opening. Okay. Yes, queen d7. At least e8 is now defended. I'm on d5. Maybe we will win the pawn back someday. They'll play queen b3. No, they won't, because e1 hangs. Hey! We got the pawn back. Both times against this person, they have absolutely crushed me in every way imaginable. And then not immediately won. They did win last time, and I, suspect they will win this time. But I have like queen f3, bishop d6 ideas. What if I take? And then take d4. And then maybe queen d3, hit the knight in h3. Can I dream? I'm starting to dream. Low on time still. That's just a given. But if their knight has to come to somewhere like c7, then their queen can't even come to c8. Yeah. I think this player is very good strategically for their rating and is making a number of tactical mistakes. But is clearly strong. Just had a nice understanding, nice sense of how to keep the material. Bishop c5 do anything? Oh, they have a check on f6. Jeez. Okay. Well, I can come to f8. And I am too slow to punish them, apparently. I'm going to try to trade queens. Should come to e7, force the trade, yeah. Alright, we got rid of their last pawn. Seems good. Hey, we got there. Miracle. I'll take it. From the depths of my misery. Is that the first or second game? I have no idea. That's all I remember now. Clearly I have an opening problem against them as black, though. I just can't punish them. So this is a repeating line where white usually avoids by playing bishop g5 and move earlier. But I used to play the big line bishop g5. Oh no, they play the poisoned pawn too. Alright, well, we're in another line I have no preparation in. I should probably take on f6 there. I don't know. I just don't know. I had a game in this recently where... Ooh, this really is my misery video. I played bishop h5, they played knight a5, I let them take, and then they played queen c5 check, picking up my bishop. Now, of course, they stop bishop h5. Very reasonable. They should probably play bishop h6. Oh, I'm going to descend into misery again this game. This is a dark time to be alive. We'll reply to a message. Good thing they haven't moved. Okay, might receive a call at some point, and then we'll abruptly end the video in the middle of a game, much to your horror. What to do? Where do my pieces go? I don't know. This looks like a file. Does queen f4 do anything? Don't know why it would. But if it induces e5, maybe I'm going to g4 and g7. Okay, not going to g4 and g7. Where am I going? I don't know. Bishop b5 check do anything? A b5, knight b5. The queen can't defend c7. No, don't think it's worth anything. Bishop b5, a b5, knight b5. Only looking at this because I just don't see anything else to do. Queen a4, knight c7 takes a8. Given up so much for so little there. Let's get out of the way of all checks in the future. Probably bishop d7 coming, and then they'll castle queenside, and they'll be better. Okay, I don't know. Sure. Yep, I hear you. This looks pretty good for you. Okay. Just to say, I don't know what I'm saying. Whew. Where's a move? Tell me one move. Queen e3. Idea, castles queenside, queen a7. Pretend I have an attack. I should learn the poison pawn. I mean, I should, of course, learn the poison pawn as white if I'm going to play this way. But never did. Didn't get it any times in tournaments. They got a sort of faked poison pawn once, but never actually a proper poison pawn. But pretty clearly in this game, black has achieved excellent winning chances, is just up a pawn, and has thoroughly confused their unhappy opponent. That seems a huge win out of the opening. I'll pretend my rook was on b1 all along. Hit b7. Also rook b3, and I can maybe start to unwind. Ooh, can I sack the knight somewhere and come into a7? No. Still hate my position. Don't have knight a4, so let's pretend I have an attack. I wonder if bishop c6 I can meet with knight a4. Ah. Can I play knight a4? No. It's also miserable. I play knight b5? No. Rook b7 do much? Yes. Maybe. If queen d4, rook b8, they have to play knight b8 because king c7, rook 1 b7, and then I can take their queen. So, and if knight d4, I might have an attack. And we've always wanted an attack. That's what I've been hoping for. I don't know if I have a threat. Okay, rook b8. Did we get them? Did we tactic them again? As they thoroughly outplay us once more, and then we sneaky snake them without actually, deserving anything at all from the position. Queen b6 or queen a7? I like queen a7, I think. Allow the rook to come down. Luckily my knight's defending e4, they'd have a check, but it would just be one check, so it's not a big deal. I'm threatening rook b8. Yeah! Okay, well that was a miracle. I think I'm going to play someone else. Maybe I play well when I'm just miserable. Hope it's not as miserable to watch as it is to have these horrid positions. Okay, quick c5, that worked well before. We should take. Yeah. Knight c6 and e6 are both moves. Let's pretend I know what the difference is and confidently make one of them. Bishop g4 any good? Probably not. I'll probably have to be faster to play e6 and get on c5, or white has time to make sort of consolidation moves. This bishop e3 to d4 idea supported by a pawn can often be a really good way to hold them both. So I would expect something like that. But I do threaten knight e5? Knight e5, knight e5, bishop d1, bishop b5. I do not threaten knight e5. Nope. I just want to play e6. But keep some pressure on the e-pawn. And if they get scared, if they play bishop f4, then their bishop is on the wrong square. So, okay. I can defend d5. Now I might be threatening knight e5 because my king is an escape on checks. So, okay. Got a pawn back. Not down material. Not miserable anymore. We're good. Life is more than just a unceasing set of horrible positions. Sometimes you get slightly worse positions, and you're happy. Okay, we'll ask the question. Whenever you haven't castled and they play bishop h4, you should probably give at least, cursory thought to going g5. It might be crazy, but you're not committed with your king yet. There is a chance. You see, they don't want to play g4. That would be horribly weakened. If they want to break the pin, they should probably play, queen d3 or bishop e2. Yeah. Now maybe I don't want to castle. Maybe I want h5. Okay. Okay. With this bishop gone, I guess I will just castle. Ruining everything I've said. They want d4. I could stop them. Could also play h5. But I kind of want my bishop on e7, so I'm going to play queen c7 such that d4, I can play bishop e7. Keep my bishop where it can, stably around my center and my king side. They have knight b5, maybe. Maybe my queen should have gone to d7. It's probably true. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Should have played queen d7. Queen on c7 is just a target. So if a6, knight a4, I'll get castled and then try to figure out what's going on the queen side. Ooh, I think they have kingside ambitions. Alright, start with queen d7. Make knight b5 not a threat. Contest. They're really looking to attack me on the king side, though. Rook h1 or rook g1 is very plausibly coming. I think they found an interesting plan here. If they move the knight, I always bishop g5. Okay. I don't have knight a5 because, they got it covered. But they're starting to bring pieces to the king side. I'm trying to play knight a5. I want to get my knight active. Yes, I am very much not responding to their build-up. My hope is never have to. And I think a hopeful way to go for that is to trade off some pairs of pieces. Because if they run out of pieces, they don't have an attack. They're going for it. They are going for it. Alright, maybe knight c6 to b4. Okay. Still don't see the problem. Knight b4, think about queen c2. This is a problem now, that my bishop is the sole defender, because it means I really have to keep my bishop where it is. I also stopped queen d3 and queen c2 from them. Yeah, I'm going to have my queen enter. Hope to keep them a little tied down. Also keep an eye on this diagonal, because if their queen ever got to it, they'd have big threats. Yeah, see, queen h5's coming. So I don't think I want to take on a2. That seems asking for trouble. But maybe queen f5 keeps them a little tied down. Threatening bishop g5, keeping an eye on f4. So if like queen h5, I take on g5 and then take on f4. I'd like to keep my knight active, but is it more active on c2? It is more active. It threatens e1. That's useful, as well as the obvious d4. And it hits a3, but I think that's less important. Okay. They did not see. They decided to sack d4, but did not see the greater threat. All right. I don't know if that's 3 or 4 games, but we're definitely on a 3-game winning streak, so this looks good, despite, again, apologies for the misery. Those were some thoroughly painful positions. Someone followed me. Hallelujah. Let's play the bird, the polar bear. A friend sent me a email today that he was preparing one of his students to play against the bird. And the lines he was preparing looked pretty good for black. So we must never let them see the light. Didn't realize they were going to play that. They should take and bust up my pawns. Yeah, I would like to have included d3 first so I can take back bishop. In these kind of closed Sicilian structures, like often people see a fianchetto and they're like, aha, I know what to do. I know the strategy. You trade off the fianchettoed bishop. And actually, like, my bishop's just blocked by my own pawns. Like, the King's Indian defense bishop is not a fantastic piece. The key piece for getting King's Indian attack positions to work. Not that bishop, it's actually the other bishop, because the other bishop needs to be able to sacrifice on h3 in a lot of lines. So I think a lot of people, like, because they've seen the dragon, right? You've seen the dragon. So you think, like, the key is trade off the fianchettoed bishop, and then I will both have an attack, and their best piece will be gone. And it's not as applicable as people think. I think a nice point here is anytime their knight moves, I have a7, so I just actually should have played knight e5 last turn. Can I still? I think so. Man, should have played it last turn, though. It was a much stronger shot before I, let them take something and open up the position with my king potentially vulnerable. But if knight e5, I have queen a7, king c8, queen a8, checkmate. Yeah, now I can play knight c6, check. Don't see better. And then I can take on e4. Or trade, and then take on e4. I guess now I'm up a pawn. Should have been up more, though. Should have seen it a turn before. This is blitz. I can, take a little longer and make sure I'm seeing the tactics. Is knight g5 annoying for them to defend? Looks annoying. If they have to play rook f8, then their position feels pretty funny. Whenever you play a rook to a square and have to play it to another square, it's not ideal. Just hit their rook a bunch. Can I play g4? Do you have any discoveries with the bishop? I don't think so. Okay, I was going to play bishop h2, but that allows knight e3, so I should not do that. Let's just cover all the squares. Blundering knight f4. My misery continues, but is unpunished. Maybe I'd like knight c6 or knight d7 at some critical moment in whatever line they were considering. I guess I'll keep it all solid. Maybe knight c4 next. Try to trade off a pair of rooks, force off a pair of rooks. Maybe bishop h2 at some point, because I just blocked my best diagonal. Alright, that stops knight c4, so I'll go for the other idea. Okay, I think the pawns are pretty strong. They have knight c4, and then I wanted to play e6. I don't get this. Where's your knight going? So that knight c4 was pretty good, attacking e5 and b2. Now, I just have these really good pawns. And on d5, I can always swap off their knight. Probably going to play king f4 and g5. And then, after I take that, yeah, not going to get you anywhere. Alright. Now they can't stop the g-pawn without playing king f8. Which way should my king go to mop up the pawns? Doesn't matter, but they should play c6, I guess. Not that it makes any difference. I should have played e7. They need their king on f8 to be able to stop both pawns. Okay. I think that's 4 for 4. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. We've lost all sense of time and proportion. Ah, my enemy. Alright, we will not be Caro-Canning them this time. No one plays d4 against me. We're going to try a Rubinstein French and see if once again they can, thoroughly outplay us before tactically collapsing. I think this is a good player. I'm impressed by them. Yeah, no wonder their bullet rating is so much lower than their blitz rating, because they're not automatic on the tactics, but they're really good at, I think, early position handling. So Rubinstein French, standard idea, trade one pair of knights. c5 there's, I think, a little better than knight e4 that they usually transpose. Alright, this is the main line. Okay, an early queen e2. Sometimes I have queen a5. Okay, I think I can play an early h6, and then maybe queen a5 check. Alright, they didn't allow the queen a5 after. So I guess now I play b6, bishop b7, standard development. If they want to sack all their pieces to win my queen with like bishop h6 followed by bishop h7, be my guest. Now I will step off the file. I don't want to take on g2. I think that's just asking to be checkmated. And immediately gives the pawn back after rook g1, bishop retreats, bishop h6. I would like my position more if I had bc5 instead of bishop c5. I think that's the biggest problem I face. My idea was bishop d4 here. That if I pester the knight, I have time to keep my kingside solid, I think. They are claiming that is not the case. I feel like I'm getting a lot of pieces near their king. Does it do anything? Maybe not. Probably have to play f5 here. But they're on the bishop. So I have just blundered everything. Wait, could I have taken their rook last turn? I could have taken their rook last turn. Ooh. Blind. Alright, so I guess I gotta take on b2. Because otherwise I'm just losing material for nothing. And then, do I want f5 or knight f6? f5 looks like such a disaster. But it doesn't lose time. Knight f6, my only hope here is probably some kind of attack. So I'm going to do the move that probably just wipes me. They should take and play queen d4, I think. But maybe not queen d4, because then rook d8. But some kind of queen g2. Then I have knight discoveries on their queen. Yeah, so now I can move my knight. The discovery. Does it do anything? I'm going to take on f4. I think they should just take on g7 and then take on f4. I'm pretty sure that's resignable for me. Their minor pieces are very strong. I mean, they very likely have another move that's better. Though I do threaten to take on d3 and then play queen c2. But there is a good chance they have something better. This just seems simple and good. Yeah. I don't want them to keep the two bishops. I think my chances of holding this are better if they only have one bishop. Okay. I'm not going to keep this pawn, so no use trying. Rook e8 at least threatens rook takes e5 sometimes. Not here, because they'd have rook e8. They wouldn't. Yeah, okay. So I threaten rook e5. I have a threat. Okay. Once again, they've absolutely crushed me. Missed that. And this time, they will get the win for it. Ah, that's cute. Nicely done. Alright. Well played. Okay. Where'd I go wrong? That was interesting. So this position's very normal. And then queen e2, castles. Ignore the computer. It always thinks white's better here. Castles, bishop g5. Okay, h6. And now e5. Ooh. Yeah. e5. Punishing their construction. Interesting. Wow. You really have to, like, see difficult moves, though, because b5 is what it's giving a second best. But if queen takes, of course, I have rook e8. If knight takes, rook e8. There's tricks in the air there, because there's, like, bishop f2, king f2, rook e5, queen e5, knight g4 is the kind of idea I'm seeing. Check, forking king and queen. So, okay, knight takes e5. Like, if castles, queens, rook e8 looks pretty good. I'm comfortable there. But if knight e5, rook e8, f4, what's the punish? Rook takes, f takes, bishop g4. Did we trap the queen? Wow. Okay, queen f1. Queen somewhere. And the point is they can't take on f6 because of rook e1. And their king just has no squares. That's really interesting. But bishop g4 immediately was better. Because now with queen f1, he can play queen d4 without having given up the exchange. And quick show threat. Rook takes e5, queen takes b2. Just attacking their knight with a knight so that I can take back rook. Okay, interesting. Yeah, because I've only seen bishop h4 and h4 here, and I know against h4 black is this queen a5 check to get out of the pin. And after bishop h4, I was considering, yeah, queen a5 here too. Apparently queen b6 is reasonable. Interesting. I'm not familiar with the c5 idea. That's cool. Alright. I was pretty miserable this session, but turned out pretty reasonably. I'm actually, can you see? No, you can't. But finished on 2414, so we stayed over 2400. Miracle.